I bet we ain't. Hmm.
And now my mic's working, which is good.
Is my mic working?
Your mic's working. Both mics working.
Yeah, no, but our podcast has just gone live. Can't believe it.
We're going to have Beadle the Bardcore in the background.
Sure.
It's like modern songs in a medieval style.
My thing's just not saying. Oh, what is this? Yeah. Cool.
Live?
Appear to be.
Hey.
We're only 10 minutes on time. Even better.
There you go.
Cool. Welcome everyone to the catch up Froth stream that is Empire LARP. Yet another LARP podcast. Hashtag. Right, so
We're here.
I think
We're
we
back.
apologize. Yeah.
5 months later.
Yeah, only slightly. Sorry, should have my phone on silent. I'm very professional. We got a slight issue with the stream setup, so you just got to have us like this.
Yeah, basically, I bought a new PC over winter and then had to move house and have not set up all of our cool little scenes and transitions and stuff between things. So this is what you get.
But also, this is
episode.
perfectly good enough for what we're going to do. It's going to match the quality of the stream.
We're going to talk nonsense for an hour.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we've already been talking nonsense as well. We've used up all our best content whilst we were setting the stream up, so I'm not going to really talk about it now. But mainly, E1 is a handful of days away.
Yeah. Question 1: how have you all been, Matthew? How's your long dark been?
Really good actually. It's been. No, it's not been very good at all. It's average. I say, yeah, nothing bad's happened. So just, it's been a long one, been a busy one. But I said to you, Mark, the other day, like I feel I'm the most excited about Empire right now than I feel like I have ever been pre-event. I'm just buzzing to get into it. So yeah, although we were meant to stream this last week.
I'm just doing a post in our Discord as we speak.
Oh yeah, probably. We were meant to be streaming last week. I was a bit unwell, so we had to. That's why it's all a bit last minute rushed. You know, we probably would have liked to do it around the news today stuff.
Oh no, you're back.
Yeah, the stream just froze, but that's fine. I was just saying how we're here for Empire, but maybe we'll talk about a bit of Minear's fate stuff later.
Oh,
just
okay.
Because we were talking about it earlier. But yeah, what I was just trying to say is like, with that this weekend, and then Empire in a couple of weeks' time, there's a lot going on now. And the LARP season is officially upon us. Ringeth the bell. Hang out your mistletoe. Is LARP season.
No. Oh no. I haven't changed the thumbnail from the previous stream.
I saw that when I clicked on it. I just let it go. Yeah, sure.
I'm just going to ignore the thumbnail. We're professionals.
We are professional. That's the thing. Some people don't see that side of it. They just think we just go to a LARP, but we're not. Hello, back and Lover. Welcome to the chat. Welcome in.
Hey.
We are talking all things LARP right now. We're actually talking about being miserable at streaming. No. So yeah. Empire, stone's throw away. Really interesting. Like I was saying earlier, I'm possibly the most excited I've ever been for Empire, which is really fun to be in because
last
year If you
for those of you who know Matt or don't know Matt, he doesn't get excited ever. So for him to be excited is pretty exciting. I'm excited that he's excited.
I was gonna say last year pre-E1, I was super down in the dumps, and I was a bit like, do you know what? I think this might be my last year of Empire. I'm just gonna see how this year rides out.
Yes.
And it's true. I'm not going to Empire again. No. We had a nice year. I won't say it was a kick-ass year last year, because I think more kick-assery to come, but it was a nice year last year.
We have an issue, don't we, in that it's a little bit further away, or going to be a little bit further away. Which...
Yeah, but whilst I'm being super positive, I'm excited for that.
So this isn't your last year of Empire, then?
No, I was saying last year. At the start of last year is what I was getting at. At the start of last year, when we were starting E1 last year, I was down in the dumps, and I was a bit like, do you know what? Let's round out a year, see what happens. You know, probably knock it on the head, because we heard news of sort of Empire moving and stuff. Whereas going back to it now, I'm really excited for this year. Really excited to see where PD move and the new site, the game from then on is going to be really cool. But I think what helps this year is, or this like E1 going into, like, we've got like some really cool plot stuff happening at the moment in the game. To do with the Barons, if anyone's interested. They've probably got a rough idea what that means. I think that's just really fun to be about. Sort of, you can dissect it into nations, into species. Is that the term? You know, there's a lot going on there in between so many different little groups and dynamics, or bigger groups. So we got a lot to get our teeth into with that. We bring in our +1 at E1. Yep. Mark's got a +1 for E1, which is
special guest.
I'm really excited about. We get to bring someone in, and I think, like you were Mark saying the other day, how you're kind of excited to be able to just introduce someone to this world, and take them around for a weekend, and just, you know, get to see their experiences. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
For the first time.
It's his first foray into Empire, but he did come along to Flying Lead with us a couple of years ago.
True.
I
wasn't there, but
he
I've
is.
heard good things.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I've never met Justin, by the way.
Have you not? I thought you had. I thought you were. I thought you were at Flying Lead when he went. Is that the one you couldn't go to? I guess.
Yeah.
Lame.
So.
Well, he is a experienced D&Der, both as a player and he is a fantastic DM as well. So I think he will have little trouble moving into the world of Empire.
And it's going to be exciting seeing him, you know, experience things for the first time. We're almost experiencing things for the first time again, which is really quite fun.
I think there's almost an air of you get used to things, don't you, when you go there so often? And I think he'll see things and think, oh wow, XYZ is here or happening or whatever, and then I think that will remind us, like, oh my god, yeah, actually that is quite cool or unique, or maybe things we might have missed in recent years.
Maybe we've streamlined our experience because we played for 6 years, whatever. Yeah, so maybe we've streamlined our experience where we kind of look past other things. You know, you're going to have a fresh face come in and go, oh, wow, those old toilet blocks in the OG field are so cool. And when they'd be like, oh, yeah.
If he sees them and thinks
I just thought they were horrendous.
I will be worried if that's his opinion of the icy toilet blocks.
Yeah, so it's... I don't know. It's cool. It's a buzz. It's exciting. E1's going to be fun. I'm not going to talk about the weather because I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not.
If you want to know the latest on the weather, Do join our Discord if you're not already in there. We have a Weather Watch channel now that I'm very excited about. You know, I love checking the weather, and we're getting into daily check territory within the next week, I would say. So keep an eye out for that.
I think so. So yeah, I think E1's gonna be cool, and even like bringing Justin along to experience Empire. But also we've got another camp mate now. You know, someone to share the camp with, which is cool. Slightly new camp layout as well, which is going to be a head scratcher. And then maybe we're going to have like a little in-character camp this year, hopefully. Which again is just a bit more going on, which I think is cool, exciting. So yeah, that's my take on it.
I'm vibing too much to the background music.
Yeah, you excited though, Matt? Kind of piggybacked on my enthusiasm at times. But...
very polite way of putting it. I am excited. I think that it's going to be a very fun year. I think it's always more exciting, isn't it, when you when like your circle grows, I guess. For us, it's been sort of, I guess, you and I for a couple of years now, which is fine. I'm not saying that I'm sick of it.
You just don't want to. You're bored of it. That's what
no. I think Justin will enjoy our company. I think as a group of three, we'll have good vibes.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we kind of similar been on it, like in character side of things. Like again, we've been solo in character for like at least a year with orcs, and like growing a group in any respects is nice because you have more people in, you know. So I'm kind of excited for. Although spoilers, Justin's not an Imperial orc.
That is spoilers.
Yeah, Justin's going to be camping with us, which is cool. When like Thursday night, we're gonna have a nice time, or all nights. But yeah, I think it's just having a few more people about is nice. You know, when we were in our older group previously, there was like 9 of us. You know, it can get cozy. It's nice to have a larger group, or a group at times. So yeah, I think a nice welcomed change, perhaps.
Also, new for 2025, a slight in-character presence.
Yes.
For us.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah, having our little in-character camp. The idea is it's going to kind of encourage us to just because like we've had it before, like maybe definitely our first couple of events, because obviously wearing the mask and stuff, we're fresh to it. But you're kind of like, I don't know, we'd go get some lunch or something. And he'd be like, oh, where do you want to eat this? And he'd be like, oh, let's just go back to the camp, you know? The out-of-character camp. So let's just go back there. And like we'd go back, maybe take a mask off for like half an hour or so, and then, you know, whip yourself back up, and then you'd be like, oh, let's go. But back into the field. Whereas I think now having like an in-character camp might just encourage us to do like some of the stuff that doesn't necessarily have to be spent in out of character. We could do in character, and just gives us that, like I said, in character presence. Because yeah, it's hard to know what you're missing out on if you're sat at the out of character camp. You know, you sat there and you're a bit like, oh, I'm knackered. You know, I just need to sit down for half an hour. Whereas, yeah, like you could be missing something, or someone might be looking for you. So having that just option in character is nice. I mean, technically, we still had it in the Orcs, didn't we? They've got logs you can sit on, but we just have a little mini home base at the Orc camp.
Yeah, I think it'd be good for all of those reasons you said. And I know what's going to happen. You're going to want to go bigger every time we do it. You're going to want to go bigger again. And eventually we're going to bring the huge tent.
Well, I was looking the Orc Discord. They were talking about big tents today. And
they were like, has anyone got a specific 6 meter by 6 meter tent? Old army surplus tent.
Yeah,
we need it.
Something from the 1940s.
I'm trying to work out why am I so shiny? Why am I getting brighter?
What's your name?
the sun's going down. And try and
it's a night time. Yeah, I think I really want to bring the big tent again, but like common sense is telling me no.
Yeah, but what about your uncommon sense?
Uncommon sense, do it.
Do it.
Do it. I was thinking about new site, right?
Yeah.
New Profound Decisions Empire LARP site. What happens if they allow you to leave stuff there? So, like, obviously, at the moment, we can't really leave stuff on site out of season because it's a farmer's field.
Do you mean you would be more inclined to have a in-character camp if we could leave it there?
I'm more inclined to take a really big tent if we could leave it there.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah,
I don't know, because what happens if there's like a hurricane or whatever, or like stormy wind, and no one's there?
Oh, no, I'm not leaving it up.
Oh, so somewhere to store it.
To store on site, yeah. But also, at the moment, if I wanted to take a van down into the orc camp to drop my tent off, I can't do it because I can't actually access the orc camp with a vehicle. Like, a little car can get in there, but really, you've got like the front gate and the back gate. So
yeah, we'd have to park on the main road at the front entrance of the orcs.
Yeah,
I think that's the closest.
I mean, if we had helpful hands, then it would be an issue. But maybe on the new site, it might be something like you can just literally drive straight into the camp. I don't know. Anna put in the chat.
I was about to say, can we talk about Play Nation, because I don't know what that is.
No.
Anna, tell us. Your only hope. Because we don't know what that is, but it sounds exciting. And we're happy to plug it if anyone else watching. Make sure you buy a copy of Play Nation, which I thought was a PlayStation magazine, to be honest.
I have a feeling it is PlayStation 1.
Ah.
Oh,
okay.
I should have known. Empire Smart, should have known.
Well, there you go. It's the Empire version of Playboy.
Brilliant.
Well, we know quite a few people who like to
peruse it, yeah.
Those sorts of articles.
I don't know, do we anymore? I know it used to be the craze a few years back. But who knows? Maybe
the craze?
Yeah, Ronnie and Reggie. No, the craze of, like, it's fashionable for everyone to pick up Empire Smart.
Ah, well, I know.
Saying that was when Little Owen was about, wasn't it?
There's people in our Discord that I know for a fact likes to
yes, I know.
collect smart.
We don't call anyone out. It's not fair.
No.
We know who you are.
No.
We know who you are.
We see you.
Dirty devil.
Apparently it's very tasteful, and there's great articles though. So.
Sure. But okay, we'll pick a copy up if we have to. Nice. But yeah.
Why didn't they call it Play Folk?
Yeah. Or Nudie Mag. Who knows?
Because that encompasses many, doesn't it?
Well, maybe.
Whereas Play Folk is sort of like a more Empire sounding, isn't it, than Nudie Mag?
More fantasy, medieval sounding, perhaps. Yeah. So I can't remember where we were. Talking about camps, only in character camps, which is cool. Something we did.
Matt's all a fluster now, thinking about Play Nation magazine.
Play Nation magazine. Woofly woof woof. I don't know if you want to talk about anything, or do we want to talk about the new updates with the Empire game?
I do want to talk about the updates to Empire. Do I want to talk about anything else?
I mean, we got at least 5 more minutes of the stream, so
we've got 33 minutes and counting. No, I don't think so. I think you've covered everything that I would have mentioned anyway. It would just be nice to be back, and I think once we get there, we'll sort of remember this is the worst one. Going from E4 to E1 is the worst time because it's such a long time, and you kind of forget a little bit, but you get more excited, I think. I know you especially, Matt. You struggle with the 6-week gap between the
I
main
was
events.
about to say, you were like, it's the worst one. This first one, I'm like,
I think it is. For me,
I
it
don't
is.
know.
Personally, then.
Like June, July events when like you can't even breathe between events and it's there. I mean, yeah, actually, yeah. I don't know. It's tricky. It depends like what you do in character because certain events hold more important things as well, like elections or something like that. You know, if you're running for a position, you might be like, oh, you know, for example, I am in June.
That's come around quick. That's fast.
Well, technically, I only had a 3-season.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about me. So yeah, yeah, I don't know. Put your things down in the chat, or if you want to put it in the Discord. If you're watching this back later, mention it in the Discord. What do you reckon your worst like gap between events are?
Which is the worst event gap? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But I tell you why April is rubbish for me, because I spent 10 months not doing anything. And then
7.
I've got like, for example, I still haven't done any prep for E1.
You were doing it the other night. You told me the other night.
I never did. I never did it. And I had I've still got prep from E1 last year that I haven't done. I just have like my shirt, my tunic. I just haven't adjusted for like 2 years now. June, July, one word, money. Yeah, fair. That is a point, Robbie. You're not wrong. That's why like people who pay tickets up front or something are clever. If you can afford it, it's a nice thing to then not have to think about. That's it. It's those like what's the word, like not unrecognized costs at events. You know, you're like, oh, you know, I just take £5 for a pasty and I'll be all right. And next you know, you're like £100 down, and you're like, oh right.
Yeah, and you've had 2 pasties.
Next you know, you've got 18 toasties in front of you, and you think, what have I done? So, yeah, the events can get pricey, and I definitely feel it. Certain events worse than the others. Like, it's kind of a bit of a joke with April events for me. I'm always like, oh, first event, yeah, going to go all out, and then some financial thing hits me, and then I'm like, oh, great, I'm on scrapings for this event. But
yeah,
hey.
Anna's team 4-1. I agree. E4 to E1 is long.
Yeah.
But you just got to fill it with player events, which we didn't really do this year. Just because of a lot of life stuff has happened.
We've done one player event. Yeah. And we had LARPCon, which I had to cancel because
you balls that.
I had to do my brother's stag do.
I can't believe you chose your brother's stag do over LARPCon.
I know. Yeah, I know. I was honestly gutted.
Where's the commitment?
Player events aren't quite the same good, but so expensive in comparison. I agree, but then Mark doesn't agree with me on this, unless you've changed your mind, Mark. But I would argue is player events aren't expensive. Empire is just cheap.
No, I don't agree with that. I still don't agree with that because it's a ridiculous thing to say. Player events are way more expensive because they're one evening for a lot of money. Some of them are. Some of them are quite cheap. The one we were going to do would have been very cheap.
What's that?
The player event.
We were gonna...
Yeah. The one that we were planning a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's different ways of doing it, you know. For example, like we've been to Reaper's Ball, and they literally hire out a wedding venue, which is thousands of pounds. So, and don't get me wrong, they're really nice. However, that's it, isn't it? You know, like a player event in a field is going to be cheaper than a player event at the Roman Baths in Bath, for example, which
I do want to go to that
events I've heard of. I really do. It's literally 5 hours, I think. Yeah, the event.
Yeah, but
by the time you get changed, you get unchanged again.
Player events aren't expensive, Matt. Empire's just cheap.
Yeah, that's true.
I've used it against him.
Empire is cheap.
I've used it against him.
I told you. Player events maybe are expensive.
I think Empire is It's hard to compare it. It's hard to compare it to Menhirs, isn't it? Because Menhirs is just about to start, and it's come out at a much higher price point. So does that make Empire seem cheap?
It's only, is it £100 for Menhir?
110. Whereas Empire is 80.
Empire's 85.
Only if you're late.
No, I thought
early booking fee was 80, and now it's 85, and then gate is 95.
I think, like I've said before, like sometimes if you go camping, you could be spending 15-20 quid a night to camp anyway. And with Empire, if you go on a Thursday, that's 3 nights, and you get a whole load of game going on. So anyway, that's not why we're here. Maybe it is, but I think we'll just argue that till eternity. Empire being
we won't. You'll try, and I will say I disagree.
Yeah, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
There's plans for an Irish player event next year, though. Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Very
I would
cool.
go to that. I would want to go to that.
Get on our rowboat and nip over to.
Now we can get the plane and just not take weapons and staves and everything like that. It'll be fine.
I'll be up to. Do you know what I really liked? Player event was the Mitwold one, the Mitwold Games. It was like an outdoor player event, wasn't it? We were camping. I kind of like that. You know, like player events in big old houses are cool, but I don't know. Sometimes.
Well, Mitwold Games had a very Marcher feel, I think, because it was outdoor games on a sunny day in a field. Like it wouldn't have had the same effect if it was in
you just got
fancy
you got
house.
a bit more. Yeah, but you got a bit more social time as well, didn't you?
Oh, because it was a
like-
weekend.
Yeah, and you think like the few events we've done, like they start at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night or whatever, you know, and then you go till like 1 a.m. and then that's it. Maybe
Yeah.
they start a little bit early, but yeah.
Matt's just reading the chat. Hang on, everyone.
Robert, yeah, sorry, yeah. I can't.
Robbie's just made a good. Robbie's just made a good
Yeah.
point in the chat, basically, that
Yeah.
you're right. It's more accessible in terms of politics and I guess game and plot and stuff if it's spread out over player events. Case in point, that one recently where something was stolen.
Oh yeah.
I guess that would be empirical knowledge by now. Because it was a sanctioned event and it happened between events, so I guess it's common knowledge.
I mean, Robbie stole it anyway. Go ask him.
It was Frith, was it?
No,
Probably.
No, Frith was accused of it, I think.
If Frith turns up with a full plate of gold teeth, we know what's happened.
Yeah. So, no. Yeah, the crown, imperial crown, went missing apparently. I don't know if it's turned up yet, but I just read about this Irish one now. It's going to be held at a castle. Ooh.
Cool.
Honor duels against the Jotun in the dungeon. That's cool.
Castles and
Talking about
contracts.
castles. Ras Revelry was cool in Caldecott Castle, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that's true. The player event we went to was in a castle. Very good.
The crown's been returned. I heard it was stolen twice though. Once it was stolen and returned, and then a second time. But maybe it's been returned again. But no, actually, yeah, Rasp's Revelry was outside as well. It was in a castle, which it was a nice event. They're doing it again. So yeah,
here it is.
Yeah, there's a Facebook page, isn't it?
There's an expression of interest form in the Empire LARP event ads group.
Player events. Shall I start talking about these updates?
Yeah, go on while I digest this information about this place, Sigginstown Castle.
Yeah, Rasp was good, Robbie. Me and Mark have booked it, and then I found out I'm actually busy that day, so
Yeah, but you're not though. You're going to it.
I'm gonna try. It's
You can't leave me hanging. You can't tell me on the day you ain't
No.
going. Because
might do.
no, because
Yeah,
I need to sort out my transport there before I know. I'll need to know if I need the car in advance because Em's gonna have work.
I'll know before then, of course.
Okay.
Anyway, we thought it'd be cool to talk about the updates to the fleets and military units. just because I think they're cool and slightly overdue.
Wow. Not to interject, but this player event is right on the southern coast of Ireland.
Ah.
It's basically a stone's throw from where we are now, Matt.
Oh, really?
No. You'd have to go all the way through Wales and then on Fishguard. You could get the ferry from Fishguard to... When does it land? Rosslare?
I remember you saying in the Discord, Robbie, that it's quite far for you to travel, mate. So, understandable.
Robbie's not going to be there.
Me and Mark will pick up the slack and do a few player events. See.
I do want to do a. I thought I heard some shouting. I want to do a player event really far north one day, that we have to like travel really far to.
Yeah, and then
who knows how far north though? Actually, because we have talked about that.
But that's not a player event, is it? It's a whole other thing.
That is a whole other thing.
Are you on about the Passage North? What? Is it the Passage North or something like that? The Bickerleen?
Bickerleen? No, that is far north.
That is quite far.
That would be cool though. No, I was thinking of Warriors of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Which is the Lord of the Rings LARP in Scotland, which would be lush.
We've penciled it out. It's only about a 7.5 hour drive, so. Anyway, let's talk Empire Final Decisions, Empire LARP.
Yeah.
TM.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read the wiki page on this. I can't remember what the downtime options were before for military units. Was it support an army, private, like paid work, wasn't it?
Well, here's a fun fact for you. I can't check because of the way we've set up the stream.
Yeah, I know. But I can check.
It's all on you, my guy.
You just have to rely on me. So they've changed like the downtime options for military units and fleets, and just basically given them more options. And I think that's really cool because I've got a military unit now.
Yep, same.
And I had a fleet before, so these are both my things. Fleet, I believe, fleet beforehand was sort of like privateering, support a navy, which we didn't have navies, or trading, right? And like trading was cool because you could go to different ports and they gave you different resources and stuff. And technically, I think trading to different nations can help relations, maybe, who knows? But that was about it. Which, it was kind of a bit like for example, me and my mate Ed in Wintermark, we were fleets. And I remember, like, we quite liked the sort of merchant game, the trading game. So we like talk about it, like where we're going to send our fleets and stuff. And especially, I remember near the end of Wintermark, when I was in Wintermark, it was kind of like, oh, where do you want to go trading? Like, we always used to trade with the Axos, like Axu in Axos, because I think it was, okay, I don't remember. But we were like, okay, we'll always trade there because of the resources we want, right? And then it was, oh, wait, we've got a sanction against them. Okay, where else can we go? And they'd be like, oh no, these guys are sanctioned. And like, I remember by the end of my Windsmart character, it was like loads of places were sanctioned. So then it was like, well, apart from privateering, which was kind of like, you just click privateering and your fleet goes and does something. There's no real story to it. And that was it. And you're like, okay. So it kind of was a bit, and you found sometimes you'd be taking a hit on your fleet because you didn't have anything else to send them to do. Which I thought was a bit lame, I don't know. Whereas now, fleets can do a bit more. So you've got trading, which I assume is going to be the same as the original trading, which is trading represents traveling from foreign ports and exchanging imperial goods for other goods. So that's going to be like the old trading stuff, which is cool, fine. You want to go be a merchant, go trade. And obviously that down to different relations and stuff can affect sort of buffs and debuffs on foreign ports. Now we have an option, additional plot options. So we have guarding, which is cool. Guarding represents defensive work such as protecting imperial waters against pirates or escorting merchant vessels to dangerous locations. So that would be quite cool if if I just dream up a scenario, if we're trying to build navies, right, into the Bay of Katazar, the Grendel come and sink them all the time. You could be like, okay, we've got a navy that's about to pop out the port, or we've got a navy trapped in the port because we can't send it into waters because it's going to get sunk. You could be like, oh well, get all the Imperial captains out to go sit in the water and defend it. You know, something like that. All of a sudden it allows the Imperial captains to kind of do a bit. I mean, maybe technically before they could have supported a navy, but now you can kind of be like, okay, we want to double down. For example, let's talk about someone else like Mariv, for example, a territory we semi-know. At the moment, like, there's 2 ways into Mariv, right? There's through the south on a land route, or a navy can land in the Barade, which is a port. So you could essentially be like, okay, well, let's put all our military captains to defend that port, you know? And then, I don't know, it's a cool option to do with your navy. You can kind of make a bit more of a military it's cool decision. And then you've got campaigning. Also, campaigning is very similar to guarding in a sort of way, but campaigning represents supporting Imperial navies on campaign, so supporting Imperial navies, or to take or defend coasts or sea lanes. So that's probably a bit more what I should talk about then. Whereas guarding is sort of escorting merchant vessels and taking on pirates in Imperial waters, whereas campaigning might be a bit more of a sort of an attacking or defending option, which is, again, cool. You can kind of, for example, like, oh, we haven't got a navy, but we want to go take a section of the Bay of Khazar. You'd be like, okay, I'll just send all the Imperial captains in. Because it makes sense, right? An Imperial captain at level 1 is, what, 100 strength? I guess a navy works a bit like an army, which is 5,000 strength. So,
well,
you had 50.
You talk about it maybe kind of running similar to an army. Campaigning is also available to military units. It works in the same way, but the land version. So you defend territories or take territories.
But it's kind of cool that now, potentially, I don't know if this is how they mean it, or I'm just reading too much into it. Could the Empire just be like, okay, let's get all our navies together, Imperial captains, and be like, go into that water, you know, and attack that army, that navy or army, if we're talking about military units. You know, could it be a way of like them better utilizing military units and Imperial fleets to act instead of armies, you know, in lieu of armies, which is cool. So a fleet, so part of campaigning, a fleet can always support an Imperial navy if one exists. We don't have any at the moment, but we're apparently maybe building some. There is no payment for supporting the Imperial navy unless the Imperial Guerdon applies. So yeah, you're not going to get paid necessarily for it, but you might do if the Guerdon's on it. So I think that's kind of a cool thing that you can use your ships for, to help in sort of wartime stuff. And then you've got some other 4 more things, which we'll quickly cover. So you've got scouting, which is cool. So scouting represents infiltration, exploration, and gathering of information in unknown and dangerous places. So that could be a bit like when Imperial fleet captains had the option to map the Bay of Khazar. That was like an opportunity we had a few years back. That's where something like this might come in. You could be like, oh, people want to go scout this southern water region. Well, you know, enough of you do it, then maybe you'll be able to piece together a map. Who knows? Cool. And that's Smugglers' Coves and stuff, which is what it's referencing on the wiki. Smugglers' Coves, I think, are like sea-based like spy networks and stuff. But I've only heard of it in game when speaking to like Imperial Spy Master, so I don't know enough about that. But
there's a lovely pub at I don't actually know where it is. It's near here, called Smugglers' Cove.
Went to the Smugglers when we went camping once as well, didn't we?
Oh yeah,
one of our LARP days out.
Yeah, if I remember rightly, we were constantly harassed by wasps.
Maybe, I can't remember. as part of the scouting action, you can choose select a no questions asked, and basically you get paid a bit of money for scouting. Whereas normal scouting, I don't believe you get any money unless the Imperial Guard applies. So that's cool. So again, like you can start your fleet. You like a bunch of captains get like 10 or 20 together. They might actually be able to start doing stuff, whether that's scout a bit of water or go deal with some pesky pirates. And then you got
Pesky
raiding.
pirates.
Raiding could be cool.
To interject briefly, do the military unit stuff and the fleet now mirror each other? Because so far, all the ones you've discussed, there's also a military unit version.
So I'm reading the fleet wiki. So if you're telling me it's the same on the military, then yes.
There is a military option for scouting, and there was a military option for campaigning.
Military and the fleets are like a similar resource in a way. Apart from fleets, you trade, whereas military units you don't necessarily. But so yeah, I think I don't see why they can't use these. So yeah, we've got scouting. Military units can scout, that makes sense. Campaigning makes sense. Guarding, that probably makes sense. Why not? You got raiding next, which is I think that's where raiding could be good just to harass foreign powers. So this is going to be a bit like privateering, and that's against nations we're at war with. So that could be a good way of maybe if you had enough players privateering, you could maybe affect like the income of like the Grendel or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
talking whack, but
so
maybe that.
At the time of recording, you can raid the Jotun, the Druge, or the Grendel. Obviously, that may change in the future because we're only at war with them at the moment.
It's who you're at war with, exactly. So yeah, things could definitely change. But that could be a cool way. Like if you had enough ships captains to come around, you could be like, we could actually affect, the Grendel might be like, now we're going to have to go deal with these Imperial fleets because they're affecting our trade, which is cool. So raiding comes in, we were talking about this earlier, Mark, like raidings do not have a direct impact on the larger military campaign. So I think what they mean by that is raiding isn't going to knock out an enemy navy, but I'd like to think it could apply pressure in places that therefore the larger pawns and pieces might have to be affected. Who knows? Most raids provide loot without recourse due to the Guardian. It's probably going to be easier you just reading the wiki, everybody, but because there's loads of other.
He says after we've covered most of the stuff.
I'm just talking. I'm doing the reading the bold stuff.
Yeah, that's all you get. You can read it yourselves.
Yeah. And then
Thank you very much. Good night.
Yeah. Cheers. I think this might be your favourite one now, Mark.
Oh.
Questing.
Oh.
Because you were talking about it.
Quest.
Do you want to talk about this one?
I like it because it gives you many different roleplay options. Represents seeking out danger in search of opportunities for treasure and experience. This is military unit, but presumably there's a fleet option as well.
Questing, yeah.
Yeah. So military unit or a fleet can always seek glory, an action which provides unpredictable resources. And I think I can't be bothered to read the whole thing, but I think there's like more dangerous things that you can do than others that will yield a higher reward, but there's more risk, I guess. I'm assuming there's some kind of thing that might go wrong, and maybe it will affect. So say like your military unit, if something goes wrong, then they might not produce as much return in resources or gold as they would normally, maybe for a season. Maybe there's been injuries or something.
I think this is the one you were talking about. Different nations might have different options for this.
Yes.
So
there's a couple for everyone, but then there is nation-specific stuff too.
So like with the fleets can quest, or they can do an action called Here Be Dragons, which is an action that provides loot or random returns. So every fleet has access to the Here Be Dragons, but I believe, so there is another option for hunting monsters in the Sea of Snow, and that comes down to certain nations like Wintermark, Marches, and one other, I think. So different. They're like opportunities, right? Which is cool. But I think that's
so they're calling them ventures. So anyone can do anyone can seek glory. That's sort of the generic one. I've just got the list up here of the current ones that are available. They're available to people. So any Imperial character with an MU or a fleet, I guess, can seek glory. And it has all the rewards that you might get as well. So that's 10 random resources for doing that, which is kind of cool. And then the idea is that you use the rewards that you've got to sort of put together your role-playing sort of backstory to that adventure. I think the example they use here, given as a reward by grateful citizens freed from the threat of nighttime terrors.
I think
which is cool.
This one's cool. So you were just talking about the loot there, and you have a random chance of getting resources, right? So it's probably the same as military units, but on the fleet one, you have, when you generate a random resource, which is done through questing, anytime you see this, anytime you see random resource generation, you have a 25% chance of either getting herbs, mana, money, or resources. So like you were saying, that's cool because yes, you've done like a questing thing or something. However, you might just get 7 mana crystals. And then that, you could be like, oh, okay, now I need to explain why I've got that. Or you could be like, oh, I just had 180 rings, or I had a load of herbs, or 10 ingots of whatever resource. So that's cool. I think you can kind of spice up your RP bit a bit more.
Yeah.
Because yes, you have a keyword stamped on your downtime, but I think the RP is left to you to be like, well, what did you actually do? That's cool. And that maybe gives you a bit of flavour to it, which is nice.
Yeah. And then after that, you've got nation-specific ventures, which again is quite a cool concept. I think there's more available to some than others, perhaps. For example, the first 3 I can see are all available to Dawn. But the first one is Explore the Depths, which is for Dawn, Wintermark, Navarre, the League, or the Marches. And it remains available as long as Lorenzo's deep pockets remains open and accessible. So it's all about exploring in there, basically, the monster-haunted depths below Lorenzo's deep pockets, which is a sinkhole with many different names.
It's just a cool way of them chucking in some different little flavour stuff as well, which is cool. I've just looked on the upgrades. Sorry, talking about fleets. It's kind of saying upgrades. Obviously, you need Imperial Boss to upgrade a military unit or a fleet. Each time a fleet is upgraded, the military strength of the unit is increased by 20. I thought it was only increased by 10. And then it has a 20% increase in returns from privateering.
Well, if it was 10 before, it's 20 now. This is the same for MUs as well.
Yeah, I thought it was who knows?
It also costs 2 mithril to upgrade from level 1, which I always thought it was 1 mithril. So maybe they've increased that as well.
No, it's definitely been 2 before. It's definitely been 2 before, but there's been a lot of sort of opportunities recently that has allowed. So, for example, I think me and Mark have both upgraded our military unit, and at that time there was an opportunity on that allowed us to do it for 1 mithril, but it's always 2. So, whatever rank you want to do, you pay that much force. To simplify. Something to quickly talk about on these as well. So obviously all the military units and fleet stuff is all changed, do lots more things. Because of that, they've had to change tweak a lot of the rituals. So a lot of the rituals have changed. They've done a rework on some of the rituals. So I think that certain rituals might affect certain downtime options. So yeah, which is again nice. It's a bit more flip. Maybe certain rituals useful for something and not other things. A bit like with back in the day, you had blood and salt or something like that, which was a autumn ritual, which helped you in privateering, I think, or something like that. Whereas you had another autumn ritual, which is good for trading. So you kind of basically got the same. And then some rituals do all of them. But yeah, that's another. It's a nice rework. I was talking to Mark earlier about it, how I feel like it's nice to see Profound Decisions willing to update the game as we go on. It's a weird concept where maybe it's just an old school concept where people are like, oh, we've released a game, that's it, right? Whereas you're kind of getting to a point in maybe like I'm relating to computer games and stuff where it tends to be more of a living thing. They're more willing to be like, no, this isn't working, this needs work, we need to change this, or this could be better. And it's nice to see Profound Decisions have taken a step with miniature, because from my experience with fleets, I felt like I just wanted a bit more flavor around them. And I think you could argue the same with farms and businesses. You just get a cash, which I know, like, you can't go full backstory into everything on the game. Sometimes it needs to be just simplistic in a way, especially with the resources, right? However, it's cool that PD have turned around and gone, okay, hey, we want to change this for the better, and we've gone and done it. It's just not something I ever really thought of them doing before until they released this, and I was like, oh wow, which is nice, because it just, the game's changed so much since me and Mark played it. It's something we always go on about. I always go on about it. The game's changed so much since we've started. Maybe little things need to be tweaked from here to there.
Yeah, I think so. We're sort of over the midway point of their life expectancy of Empire as well, so I think it's probably a good time to start trying some new things out for it.
Yeah, I think so. And I was saying to you earlier, Mark, like maybe you're finding, because the game's that bit bigger, there's less. It's maybe less in the field for everyone to do. So maybe people are looking towards their downtime sort of resources a bit more and being like, and that's where you could find, like, having a military unit or a fleet. All of a sudden, you could put a lot of your time into this sort of downtime option stuff now. For example, let's go round up the military captains and go scout I read, which is a really good idea if anyone's listening, maybe. So like it's all of a sudden, like, you can go do something. And I like it. I do like it. Thank you, PD. Thank you, Matthew Pennington.
Can I finish reading the available stuff now? Now you've finished your little tangent?
Nope.
Okay, you'll have to read the wiki for the rest of it, guys.
No, I'm not reading it. What bit? What you on about the
ventures? I'd got most of the way through one, and there's another two.
Go for it.
So we had Explore the Depths, where you can go and go into Lorenzo's deep pockets and have a route around, and you can get. I like that they specifically list the rewards on some of them. So this one, you get 3 ingots of Welt Silver, 3 ingots of Tempest Jade, and 3 mana crystals. Easy. So if you're in the market for those 3 particular things, that would be a good place to go digging around for them. And that's if you're Dornish, Wintermark, Navari, Leaguish, or Marcher. And then we've got Hunt the Suak Wastes, which is for Wintermarkers or Dornish. And it remains available while the Hall of Hunters still stands, and creatures of the realms continue to threaten Surma Suak. And that one is... Well, I don't actually... What's the Hall of Hunters?
I think it's like a sinecure or a ministry or something like that.
Okay. Hall of Hunters was established to serve as a haven for bands of heroes venturing into Surma Suak to hunt down the beasts of Ice Snap and the Griffin Prince. Inevitably, some Dornish glory hounds turned up as well. Boo! Nah. Very joking, George. Drawn by the promise of desperate battles against terrible monsters. That's we can't do that. That's out of character. Silliness. We love you, Dawn. The rewards: a standard military unit will receive 100 rings, a golden apple, and a vial of Heart's Blood. What's a golden apple do?
You use it in Minecraft, don't you?
I know what it does in Minecraft. I know what it does in Empire. Oh, it's a Viz.
What is
Probably an autumn Viz, isn't it? Oh, summer Viz.
Summer, is it? Wow.
There you go.
There we go.
And a vial of Heart's Blood, which is also a Viz, probably winter. Yeah. And then, again, only if you're Dornish. They're really favouring the Dornish. You can quest against the Valorn. I don't know why this isn't available to Navarre.
Well, I mean, Dawn's all about questing, isn't they? So it kind of makes sense
Remains
that if there's a job to be done, they're going to be there.
Remains available as long as the Knight of the Greenwood and the Reeve of Green Forest Fair remain in good standing and committed to supporting Dornish ventures. We're talking about stuff. I haven't got a clue what any of that is. I don't know about you, Matt. Not a Scooby-Doo.
I'm guessing maybe Navarre have invited Dawn questing people into their territory to deal with some nuisance.
The Manor of the Greenwood at Elvet in Semerholm serves as a sanctuary for Dornish knights and yeofolk seeking glory in the depths of the Valorn-infested Brokeliand.
I think, why deal with the Valorn yourself when you can get some crazy questing knight to do it for you?
And for your troubles, Dawn, you'll get 48 rings, representing treasure and rare finds, 6 random herbs, and 4 measures of random forest measures. 4 measures of random forest measures.
Yeah, so that'd be jade.
Yeah. It's just worded funny.
It's not jade, sorry, Ambic help. Yeah, I know.
And then,
yeah, I was reading. I had the same earlier, reading something. I was like, ingot measures, what?
And then, there is more for others. We got the 3 raids after that. So any Imperial character can raid the Druge, the Grundle, or the Jotun. And you will get different stuff depending on what you do. If you raid the Druge, you get 9 random herbs and 4 random resources. That could be good if the random herbs are... What's the expensive one? TV, is it?
Maz.
That's Maz, is it?
Yeah.
A military unit that is enchanted or upgraded receives more and may also require some Druge Apothecary as part of their loot. Usually representing a captured potion or 2.
Ooh.
And then Grendel, you get rings, 72 rings, and also, if you've got an upgraded unit, you get some Grendel luxuries, which will be usually in the form of a rip-on-use consumable, representing a rare substance or drug. And then Jotun is 4 random metal ingots and 6 random resources, and a Jotun trinket for upgraded units. Generally a magic item from the talismans category. That's cool.
If you're thinking of that is really cool actually, before we go past it. If you're thinking about like any military production, right? Or like any production, what you make, like, I don't know. Say if you've got a fleet or something, you'd have like 12 or 13 resources, I don't know, per season. So by doing these raiding, you're about getting that anyway through resources. So it's actually not it's not costing you going raiding. It's a good way just to make some money as a military unit.
Yeah, and you can RP off of it as well.
Go upset. Yeah, so for example, if I was just like, I've got no armies I want to support, yeah, I'll just go raid the Grendel.
Any Varushkans in the chat? Because there's one for you. You can go wagon raiding, which is it's only Varushkan characters with the wagon raider archetype. That is specific. Cool though. You get 12 random ingots or measures of something.
But that is cool.
Apparently it's a Varushkan tradition. The wagon raider sees hard-bitten, reckless bands of warriors launch forays into barbarian lands to grab the riches that can be found there.
That is cool.
That's cool.
That's the thing. They can have PD could go nuts with this if they can like add some, take some away, and that's really cool.
It's adding stuff to, like making archetypes more flavoursome as well, which is cool. What I like about that.
Yeah, it's just adding something to the game that I didn't think.
Oh, I didn't see this one. You can go bounty hunting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Go bounty hunting with fleets as well, I think.
Any Imperial character can do it. You can capture wanted criminals in return for a reward, which will be in the form of 72 rings, 3 doses of Liao, and 4 random resources.
That's cool.
Very cool. Oh my god, there's way more than I thought you could do. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Bone Pilgrimage as well. That's our one.
Mhm.
War of Whispers. Any Imperial character remains available while the Whisper Gallery remains under enmity.
Mm.
Um, the Eternals of the Whisper Gallery have been a thorn in the side of Imperial scholarship for some time. Basically, if you do this venture, you get 120 rings and 2 mana crystals.
Oh, that's pretty good. But so
That's
you
pretty
could
good.
you could basically through the game you could create these as players, couldn't you? So
Yeah.
you could be like, let's go bloody the noses of the Salt Lord at Parade, for example.
Mm.
You could literally make like it allows PD to interact with game options or game things and give so they could be like, okay, you've been going on about this, all right, we're going to let military units do this for the next couple of events. You know, that's cool.
And then the last 2, you got Explore the Ruins of Turunial, which is for Navarre, as you can imagine. Remains available as long as the Hall of the Seven stands, and the Spear of the Seven remains committed to supporting exploration of the Valon. And if you want to do that, you get 3 random measures of forest resources, 4 random herbs, 38 rings, and a single vial of vital honey, which I reckon is a spring viz.
Yes, I think it's Avis.
It is, and it's spring. I like guessing which realm it belongs to when I see it.
I'm slightly worried about having to think about what I'm going to do with my military unit.
There's a lot of stuff. You could send them on the Bone Pilgrimage, which is the Imperial Orc and Highborn.
Oh yeah, did you read
venture.
that one?
No, this is the last one on the list.
Go on then.
So it's for Orcs and Highborn. It remains available while the Synod supports the pilgrimage, and there are still Orc remains to be recovered. So I guess we could bleed it dry of remains, technically. You'll get 90 rings, 7 herbs, and a dose of Liao doing it. Which is cool.
I was wondering if we could make like mummy paint. Remember, like back in the Victorian era when you had mummy brown or something? It was a paint made out of mummy dust. Legit. Maybe we make some Imperial Orc like.
I didn't know that, but now I'm thinking about cadmium yellow from Bob Ross, and was that made from cadmium?
Don't know, but maybe we make Imperial Orc green paint.
Yeah,
and it's just a specific shade of cream, and that's because it's made from Imperial Orc bones.
Yeah, Gadak brown.
Yes, that's a very good point, Robbie. If we were thinking about what we're going to do with our military unit, if we want to vote for stuff, we need to support an Imperial Orc army. So, good point, Robbie. Well done.
Is that new, or is that always the thing?
That's always been a thing. So, for example, if we want to vote for our senators, it needs to be done with a military unit that has supported Imperial Army.
Oh,
Imperial Orc army.
What, every time?
Oh, any army. Oh, okay. Not an Imperial Orc army. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the support army option that we would normally do to get a bit of the Gurden.
Just have support army. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that's another layer that you have to think about if you want to go for RP or for tactical votes, I guess.
No, cool.
And then there's a gigantic table, which I'm not going to read out. You can go on the Empire Wiki and look up ventures if you want to see the giant production table for every single option we've just listed.
Nice, it's cool. And obviously they're affected by military unit levels and stuff, aren't they?
Yes.
As you probably already said. So cool. I like it. It's a nice update to the game, and whether it has really an impact, I don't know, but I think it could do. It's weird though, because we've gone into a nation now where military units are like, if for example, used for a lot of the politicking in a way, sort of. Whereas, going to another army go into another nation where imperial military units might be a little less. Then you could have a bit more fun with it, maybe. Who knows? I mean, have fun with anything.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, I think we're ready to round up there, aren't we?
I think so. We've covered what we were gonna.
Yeah, and we spoke a little bit. People in the chat, thanks for coming. Hello.
Yeah, we're sorry for not doing any streams for a very long time, but it's nice to be back. I think we kind of both needed a bit of a We needed to use downtime for sure.
Oh, 100%.
But
Yeah,
I'm ready.
and we'll got this year to go. I said it at the start stream and before stream. I'm really excited to see how Minear's Fate does this weekend. So, if anyone has anything or anything, chuck it in the Discord because I'm really interested to see how it goes and see what it's just about, really. So, got any pictures? If any of you are going, chuck it in there.
Pictures would be cool.
Yeah, and then obviously Empire stuff. All our pre-Empire kit stuff's gonna kick off soon. I'm gonna get a load of stuff done. So
I was thinking about going live when I go through the storage unit to find all of my kit and my tent. If that sounds even vaguely exciting to anyone, maybe we'll do that. And then if you've got any ideas for streams that you want to see, drop them in the Discord.
Yeah, and we'll see how we fit because I was about to suggest maybe streaming 41. However, I've got a brother's wedding next week. Then my daughter's birthday stuff, and then it's E1, so probably not. But who knows? We'll see.
We could do
the week off because we could
do a Wednesday night.
Also, we've got a bank holiday, haven't we? A couple of bank holidays coming up, which might free up our availability slightly more. So,
what, Easter?
Yeah.
Is that before Empire or after?
Yeah, the 18th and the 21st. Then.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, we'll have a think about, and then it will be really nice to stream before E1. I just don't want to put it in stone because we know how things go, right?
We're doing it.
Just suddenly, everything becomes everything all of a sudden at once at the same time.
Guys, lock it in. It's confirmed.
Matt's confirmed it.
It's canon.
Right.
Cool.
Well, thank you everyone for coming in and hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for
trains
watching.
Come in. Toot toot.
Choo choo.
Let's go. We want toot toot choo.
There's going to be no end stream ending screen because none of it's built. It's just going to stop abruptly. So
there will be a stream has ended screen, and that's it.
Yeah, it'll be a YouTuber stopped working.
Yeah. So
please come back again soon.
Thank you everyone, and we'll see you in the Discord. We'll be chatting. We're a bit chatty at the moment, which is good. So.
Yes, yeah, I'm enjoying the busyness of the Discord. Actually, I'm going to try and share some pet pics. Matt, show some of your garden pics off as well because I don't have a garden to show at the moment.
My garden's in half at the moment. So
is it? Let's see. The sundering, the great sundering. Cool.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Abrupt stop. Go.